Employees figuring out which science or development projects are worthy. And listen to what they have spent already. $4.5 billion for vaccines, almost $2 billion for scholarships in America, and $1.5 billion to improve farming in Africa and Asia, just to name a few. The foundation's wealth ranks up there with America's biggest companies, just behind McDonald's and ahead of Boeing. Boy, his and hers offices, I'm not sure a lot of marriages would survive this.
That works out great.
We actually like it a lot.
The Gates live in a secluded, high-tech mansion with 3 children. This is an early picture. The kids are now 8, 11, and 14. Bill and Melinda met at a Microsoft meeting 23 years ago.
What did you think? I mean, it's not every day a girl gets asked out by the richest man in the world.
Oh, no, it wasn't that. It was that I didn't think it was a very good idea to date the CEO of the company.
It was back in 1993 on a vacation in Africa that they began to think about giving away their money.
Well, if you have money, what are you going to do with it? You can spend it on yourself. You can have, thousands of people holding fans and cooling you off. You can build pyramids and things. I sometimes order 2 cheeseburgers instead of 1, but we didn't have any consumption ideas. And if you don't think it's a favor to your kids to have them start with gigantic wealth, then you've got to pick a cause.
You don't consider it to be a favor to your kids?
No, absolutely not.
To give them enormous wealth?
No, they should go on to pursue whatever it is they want to do in life and not feel cheated by that, by being given something, given a whole lot of wealth. They would never go out and figure out who they are and what their potential is.
Have you talked to them about this? Have you said, look, we're going to give most of this away?
Absolutely.
And they're okay with giving the money away?
They are okay with it.
Yes, they reach different ages. They may ask us again, tell me again what?
The Gates kids will still be massively wealthy, but their parents have already given roughly $30 billion to the foundation, and they told us they'll give 90% of their money away. Add to that the contribution of the Gates' close friend, Warren Buffett, who has committed another $30 billion to the foundation. This past summer, the Gates and Buffett challenged billionaires to give half of their wealth to the charity of their choice. So far, 40 have signed the pledge. The foundation, you have made certain choices about what you're going to fund, and some people might ask, why not drop $30 billion on a cure for cancer, for example?
Well, there's a huge market for cancer drugs, and there's dozens of pharmaceutical companies that spend tens of billions on those drugs. In malaria, when we announced a grant for $50 million, we became the biggest private funders. And so the fact that it kills over 1 million children a year and yet has almost no money given to it, that struck us as very strange. But it became the thing we saw, okay, this will be unique. We'll take the diseases of the poor, where there's no market, and we'll get the best scientists working on those diseases.
You're trying to find the places where the money will have the most leverage, how you can save the most lives for the dollar, so to speak.
Right, and transform the societies.
Good morning.
Another society they want to transform is America's, particularly through the schools. They have pledged nearly 1/4 of all the foundation money to American students, and we followed Melinda to the Friendship Collegiate Academy High School in Washington, D.C.
So I wonder what you think is the most alarming thing about American education.
I think it's most alarming that we're only preparing 1/3 of the kids to go on to college. That's a frightening thing for our democracy, to say 1/3 of kids are prepared to go.
If only 1/3 of high school seniors are academically prepared to go to college, the Gates believe that a revolution in teaching can go a long way to pushing that up to their goal of 80%. They're funding research to figure out what makes great teachers great.
Do you feel like you're prepared that you could go on and succeed in college?
Yes.
The foundation is at work in schools in nearly all 50 states.
What book are you reading?
Sort of like national parents, Bill and Melinda Gates have helped pay college tuition for 20,000 American kids.
The country is built on ingenuity. It's built on having lots of very well-educated people. And if you're from a poor family, how are you going to break out of that? Well, education is the only way. Education is the thing that 20 years from now will determine if this country is as strong and as just as it wants to be.
One of the boldest efforts of the foundation is unfolding in the slums that we visited in Delhi, an attempt to eradicate polio. No one in America has seen this since the 1960s. We found in a Delhi hospital a polio ward full of paralyzed children.
This young boy, Sahil, he is 10 years old. Sahil has got paralysis of one side of his body, one leg. See what he's doing? He's trying his best. He's bringing his hand, but he cannot move his leg.
In a country where water often runs next to sewage, the virus, which is spread through human waste, finds new victims. Polio has been cornered to just 4 countries on Earth, so the Gates have teamed with Rotary International to bang on every door to find the last child who hasn't tasted the vaccine. Do you believe you can do that? Actually eradicate the virus from the face of the earth?
It's been done with smallpox, and that's what gives us the hope and the belief.
While in India, we were invited to a ceremony that every new mother prays for. Because so many newborns die, they're not given names right away. This family had waited a week to bring their daughter into the light and name her Durga, which means invincible. It was during the ceremony that we saw what it was that has moved a no-nonsense executive to give away her fortune.
Can I hold her? Oh.
Durga's first blessing was from the sun. Then she received a second, a future free of polio.